I hope to provide an account of the Nigeria Customs Service performance over the past year under my stewardship as the Comptroller General of Customs. Exactly a year ago, and approximately 3 weeks into the inauguration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I was appointed first in acting capacity by Mr. President as the Comptroller General of Customs of this agency. My appointment came during the nascent stage of the administration where policy directives were being fine-tuned to meet the expectations of the people. And as a kind of background, we recall that under the guidance of the Honorable Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Olawale Edu, Customs embarked on an initiative to align its responsibilities with Mr. President's Policy Advisory Document, PAD. In this regard, a total of 9 priority areas were highlighted to deliver immediate benefits within the administration's first 12 months. These areas were aligned under 4 core statutory responsibilities of NCS, which were trade facilitation, revenue connection, protection of the society, and collaboration of the stakeholder, with our stakeholders. So the priorities as established by the President include the first ones under trade facilitation, transforming Nigeria into Africa's most efficient trading nation. 2, decongesting areas within 4 kilometers around the ports for cargo and railway use. 3, enforcing the presidential directive on 48-hour clearance of goods at seaports in line with Executive Order 001. Number 4, redefining performance measures of key government agencies to emphasize trade facilitation. 5, implementation of national single window. And 6, establishing dedicated seaports and airport export terminals with enhanced capacity and upgraded access roads. And secondly, under the revenue collection mandate of Nigeria Customs Service, the document declared a state of emergency in revenue generation and also undertake to review and restructure existing incentives, waivers, and tariffs to plug economic leakages and boost key sectors of the economy. And in the third area, that is the mandate of protection, the document also declared a state of emergency in national security. And the last one, promised to promote strategic communication and engagement with all stakeholders, which we also prioritize. So this set of priorities was further endorsed by the Honorable Minister of Finance and the Coordinating Minister of the Economy during the inaugural briefing with the Nigeria Customs Management Team and the Nigeria Customs Service Board. And following the finalization of the Presidential Priority Areas, PPA, in subsequent weeks, the service promptly realigned its operations to support at least 6 out of the 8 areas that fall within our traditional responsibilities. These areas include reforming the economy to foster sustained inclusive growth, strengthening national security to promote peace and prosperity, enforcing cross-border prohibition to achieve food security, prioritizing education, health, and social investment as pillars of national development, accelerating diversification through industrialization, digitalization, creative arts, manufacturing, and innovation, and finally, improving governance for effective service delivery. These priority areas have been incorporated with the identified priority areas of the PAD in developing strategies to pursue the Nigeria Customs Service statutory mandate under the overarching policy thrust of building upon previous successes, collaborating with strategic stakeholders, and deploying innovative solutions. This methodological approach was designed to achieve 3 basic objectives. The first, is that we wanted to align NCS activities with the policy directives of Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led administration as one of the critical and strategic agencies contributing to the realization of government's plan for Nigeria. B, we want to ensure that customs contributes effectively to the implementation of fiscal policy objectives under the supervision of the Ministry of Finance. And 3, these objectives, we want to ensure that these objectives are achieved along with the set targets by the government based on customs statutory responsibilities. The service, we must put it on record, has enjoyed steadfast support from Mr. President through the Honorable Minister of Finance and the Coordinating Minister of Economy, who also doubles as the chairman of the Nigeria Customs Service Board in the implementation of the various policy measures. Therefore, the outcomes, the results in this performance report that I am giving out are all attributed to the successes of the chairman and members of the board of the Nigeria Customs Service for creating the enabling policy environment for the actualization of Mr. President's vision. Now, let's talk about some of those policy measures that have been implemented in the course of the last 1 year. One of the leading policy measures implemented under the guidance of the Honorable Minister of Finance was the transition from the repealed Customs and Excise Act 2004 to the newly signed Nigeria Customs Service Act 2023. The new legislation strengthens the modernization of Nigeria Customs Service operations, compliance, and enforcement with features that promote innovation within the service. This included extensive sensitization efforts for all stakeholders involved in the customs processes, ensuring that they were informed about the new law and had a clear understanding of the implications of the features introduced in the new Act in 2023. The new Act also forms the basis of several trade facilitation measures currently being undertaken by Nigeria Customs Service. These measures include A, the recent transition from the Fast Track 2.0 to the Authorized Economic Operator AEO concept. Participants in the AEO program stand to benefit from expedited customs clearance processes, reduced inspections, priority treatment, and enhanced predictability in customs clearance. This transition has advanced beyond the critical stage of stakeholder engagement, with 7 beneficiaries, including importers, exporters, logistics companies, customs brokers, and SMEs, now set to be involved in the pilot stage, which we have rolled out. B, the advanced ruling system represents a notable stride in aligning NCS operations with global best practices. In line with the World Customs Organization WCO, and the World Trade Organization Trade Facilitation Agreement. This initiative is now at an advanced stage of implementation. C, in February 2024, Nigeria Customs Service launched an extensive time-release study, TRS, with the support of the Honorable Minister of Finance and the buy-in of the Honorable Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, as well as the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy. The objective of this endeavor is to identify bottlenecks in the clearance processes to ensure that adequate measures are taken to resolve these issues. D, another significant measure to eliminate inefficiencies in Nigerian trading environments and re-emphasize the pursuit of trade facilitation by NCS was the dissolution of ad hoc enforcement teams that constituted multiple layers of checkpoints and hindered legitimate trade. And finally, in response to the need for dedicated terminals to process export goods, Nigeria Customs Command at the port of Lily Pond in Lagos was designated to handle export transactions. We will see in real numbers, in real terms, the outcome of some of these policy measures as we go on. Other targeted measures to jointly facilitate trade and enhance revenue collection by the service includes the following: the implementation of the presidential approval to decongest the port areas and improve logistics around the port in line with the Nigeria Customs Service Act 2023. Nigeria Customs Service also commenced 24-hour clearance at the port at the Tinkan Highland Port in line with the presidential directive to enforce 48-hour clearance of goods. In response to the declaration of a state of emergency on revenue collection, several revenue-enhancing measures were implemented in the course of the year. Notably, a 90-day window was approved by the Honorable Minister of Finance, allowing owners of smuggled vehicles to pay appropriate duties on previously imported vehicles. This initiative followed the establishment of a revenue review performance recovery team tasked with recovering potential post-revenue from pending transactions with customs. Customs also implemented measures to address national security concerns. This includes strengthening the Federal Operations Unit to pursue, intercept, arrest, and dismantle smuggling networks.